What's up, guys? Welcome back to Thug Life Gaming. I'm your host, Matt Rogers, and today we're going to be going over a few pro tips for Destiny 2's multiplayer. Now, if you happen to play a lot of quick play or competitive, all of these tips are still going to be very useful for you, but 100% of the footage that you'll see in the background will be predominantly focusing on Trials of the Nine, specifically because that seems to be the most sought after form of competitive play. Now, before we get started, don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the content and you want to see more videos like this, and comment below. Let me know what you may or may not want to see in the next episode. But with that being said, what do you say we get things started? First up, tip number one is a gameplay tactic that's going to require coordination amongst you and your fellow fire team members in order to pull off what are called team shots. Now, this is exactly how it sounds. At any point during a match, you and multiple members of your team need to be shooting a specific target at the exact same time. This is going to be particularly useful at the start of a round when opposing teams are rushing to control certain choke points and lines of sight. But depending on what game type you're playing, my own personal recommendation in regards to what weapon you should be using is definitely the scout rifle. And I know a lot of you guys out there don't necessarily like using them, but when considering your overall kill potential due to accuracy and just overall reliability at range, I think the scout rifle will help you and your teammates pick up some of those early kills and hopefully carry that momentum throughout the match.
One enemy remains. All opponents defeated. Show me more. All opponents defeated. Are you the ones?
Tip number two is pretty much in correlation with tip number one regarding the absolute necessity to secure power ammo. This can easily be done by playing aggressively and just landing those team shots in order to keep control of that power ammo spawn location. Now, the gameplay that you're watching in the background will actually showcase an example of what happens when my team makes the mistake of not securing the power ammo. We end up planting the bomb during a game of Countdown, but instantly decide to set up defensive positions in order to protect it, instead of running over and grabbing some ammunition for our rocket launchers. The result of that is when our opponents decide to make a play on the objective, they very quickly grab power ammo and absolutely destroy us. Now, I gotta admit, it is hard watching this footage, but it was during the first weekend of trials when we weren't very experienced, whereas the next two clips that you're about to see really do illustrate the importance of learning from those mistakes.
Now make them power.
Guardian down.
You are all that remains. Oncoming. Guardians are immortal. Who dies more than a guardian?
Before we get into our third and final tip for the video, here's an extra piece of advice brought to you by Evil Energy. Turn any drink into an energy drink. After planting the bomb in a game of Countdown, reserve at least one type of AoE grenade to throw down on top of the objective shortly before it actually detonates. During this short window of time, you'll find a lot of opposing teams trying to make one last-ditch effort to win the round by defusing it. Now, knowing that our opponents are about to do this, what you'll see in the footage is both my teammate and I throwing a pulse grenade down on top of the objective, which not only protects it for an additional few seconds, but also has the potential to pick up a few kills.
No one left to fight in your place. So fight. One opponent remains.
2 for 1.
Yes! Enemy team neutralized.
Last up, tip number 3 is going to highlight your team's ability to manage supers and how to best go about implementing them. From my experience, teams should be using their supers one at a time. Communicate with your teammates as to when you want to use it so that you're not overlapping each other, which ultimately yields the most kill potential. Now, my favorite moment to do this is, like I've mentioned, very early on in the round because opposing teams are rushing to secure those choke points, lines of sight, but more specifically, the power ammo. Knowing that they're going to be grouped up or somewhat close together, go ahead and pop that super and pick up a multi-kill.
Your strength, Titan. Their floors laid bare. Every Guardian has a flaw.